Dear brothers and sisters, in today's gospel passage we heard the word Sabbath 3 times. To understand the Sabbath context and the terminology, we need to go back in the Old Testament. One of the commandments which God gave us, thou shalt keep holy the Sabbath day, which meant at that time, on that day will be a day spent in prayer, spent in worship, and spent in reading the Torah and reflecting over it, and not doing any manual work. But the Jews originally had, in a way, tried to understand deeper and deeper and interpret and reinterpret this so-called the Sabbath by saying what they could do and what they could not do. So when your disciples were eating the grain after rubbing them in the hands, the law also said if you're hungry on a Sabbath day or any day, you could go to anybody's fields and you could just pluck the corn and eat. But it was forbidden to rub with the hand. Rubbing with the hand means doing manual work. You may find it silly, but that's what they believe. The Jews and the Pharisees, such so-called, I don't know what term to use it, but they say they will wait to pounce on Jesus and the disciples. So when they saw this happening, they immediately accused Jesus and the disciples for breaking the law. But Jesus defends the disciples. And why does this so? In society, we have rules. We have to keep them. Like when you ride or drive to anywhere in India, we have to drive on the left-hand side. If you go to the other side, you will cause harm to yourself or others. Rules are there made by us for our well-being. But at times when you go beyond the rules, suppose someone is sick and happen to be a Sunday, can you go to church? You cannot. Or your son, your daughter is sick and you have to take care. And you can't go to church. Will you say, I have broken the commandment of God? What does God want? God wants you, your heart. Not just so-called. So keep it. For Jesus, the person was more important. Jesus did keep all the laws, but he went beyond the law. For him, what is important? The person and his well-being. Therefore, he defended disciples because they were hungry. Don't expect them to collapse on the way. Therefore, he defends them. So maybe time for us to reflect ourselves. What is for us more important? A person, his well-being, good health, or I am going to abide with the law, and if I break it, I will commit a sin or offense. I will hurt God and hurt my neighbor. Let's reflect over this and ask God to help us. Let's focus on the person and their well-being when it comes to rules and regulations.